Hello. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Hey, let me get set up, as always. Yeah, I am not streaming in the film and animation category. That much is true. All right, almost there. Almost. Ah, interesting. Now check this out. There is a new layout selector. Huh. I will need to look into that. It's grayed out right now. It says I'm streaming horizontally here. How do I... Also, I don't know. Is there anything bad on the screen I shouldn't be showing? Bad as in like, bad for me. Interesting. How do you want to go live? Streaming software. Automatic concepts. Interesting. Now look at this one. I'll have to ask my PM about this. What is this? Automatic concepts experiment. Help viewers learn more about unfamiliar terms without leaving the video. Concepts mentioned in your video may automatically appear in the description. That'll actually be interesting to see how that works. Because that could actually be helpful for a stream like mine. If it works well. Sort by top. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out how to do... Trailer. I could add a trailer. Yes. Yes, I would like to stream both horizontally and vertically. I wonder if I have to like set that up outside of stream, like before I start or something. Anyways, we'll check that out later. Let's do some more game dev. Do some game dev. What am I working on today? What did I do yesterday? I did things yesterday. Things did happen yesterday, I swear. I think I just kind of rounded off the animation stuff, and then I kind of started to dip my toes into things. Into like optimization of the gameplay side of my ECS. So that's what we're doing here. I'm going through and trying to optimize my weapon equals get ranged weapon. I already do a get weapon there. That's superfluous. I'm going through and just like looking at my abilities, making sure I'm not doing any extra like fetches and stuff. For like equipment components. Stuff like this we wouldn't necessarily need. Now I may in the future. We'll see though. And I guess this never happens. So let's delete that. Okay. I think that's good. We do re-get the ability anim queue everywhere, but we have to because that pointer is not stable. It is not a stable pointer. Okay, let's rebuild there. Why is my chat not working? Why is my chat not working? Hello guys, welcome in. What game are you making? I'm making a RPG, Colony Sim Roguelite. Procedural, destructible terrain, and AI-generated quests. Test. There we go. Okay, now it's working. Test over here now too. Okay, that one works as well. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let me make sure the audio's set up well too. Okay, that looks right. That looks right. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Yes, equipment component. We no longer need that. Not there at least. Okay. So I am currently trying to optimize the weapon auto attack, or the melee auto attack rather. We're just trying different things to see what is faster, what is slower. So I just went through and tried to like get rid of any superfluous like fetches and gets and stuff like that. So let's see what happens there. And we'll need to compare it against some stuff from yesterday. Go ahead and start the trace. Okay, we are profiling. I'll let this sit for a little bit. This is 1,000 entities in combat here. I say as one of them just stands there doing fucking nothing. That should be good enough for a comparison. So we'll stop that profile. Give me something from yesterday. Hello? Okay, that's yesterday. Now give me the latest one from just now. Okay, let's dig through here. Let's see. Okay, ability activation processor. Let's see. Let us see. I think the overall frame time seems a bit better. On half of the frames. Let's dig in here. Activate ability is still the melee activate is still, that's the wrong one over there. 118, 116, 121. This is like 136, 164. This actually seems slower. Wait, what did I do that made it slower? Okay, I don't think anything was being activated that frame. $116, 111, 130. Yeah, I mean, I don't think what I did really made a big difference there. It's crazy that it takes so long. I never use this screen. I want to, but it confuses me. I mean, really all you need to know is this game thread track is probably the most important. So, you know, this is what's happening on your game thread. And then I don't know, I forget if you're a C++ guy or not. But if you are, you can start throwing, like... You can start throwing these bad boys everywhere, which will show up... Whatever scope this is in will show up as a track on that list. But if not, and you're just blueprints, I think most blueprint things should show up in there, but stat named events helps. It'll show some additional information in there. So if you check that, it can help illuminate some things. not dug into C++, then yeah, I think most blueprint functions should just automatically show up in here. Yeah, I mean, just looking at a game thread frame is most of it. Okay, so yeah, attach weapon is literally half of the activation of this, literally half the time. And it's crazy that the rest of this is the other half, because there's not that much happening here. I know it's like a lot of code, but it's just like kind of simple, just calculations, you know? Then maybe I just need to hurry up and change all my weapons into structs from U objects, you know? I thought by passing in the other weapon rather than fetching it would be a little bit faster, but that didn't seem to make too big of a difference either. I am curious. Very curious. I'm gonna start throwing a little bit of these. How do I want to fucking do this, man? We'll do this. Melee auto attack ability, activate ability. Do I ever have memory issues with your code? Oh boy, do I. Yes, I have had memory issues. I watch my stat unit graph like a hawk while I build, so I know when stuff changes. I have pretty stable frame time. Yeah, I guess the Unreal Insights is nice for detecting like what is running slow, right? Because the stat unit and stuff like that is just gonna say that it is running slow. Anyways, what is in here? What am I doing in here? This is just like calc anim times or something, I'll say. Just want to know like which part of this takes up the most. I'll throw another scope in here. This is gonna start getting ugly. It's temporary. Calc anim times. And what am I calling this? Dual, I don't even know. I'm wondering how expensive just getting the game mode is. Get total melee weapon speed. Yeah, I mean, I guess just like it's not even dual wield calc, but we'll just fucking name it that for lack of a better term. All right, run live coding there. I just want to see which part of this is taking up the most time. Okay, let's restart this. Okay. Okay, we'll run the profile here for a bit. Okay, that's probably good enough. Pause that and compare. Well, I guess we don't need to compare. I just need to see some additional information here. Ability activation processor. God damn, some of these took forever. Wait, did it not, oh my god. Wait, okay, so... Wait, what the fuck? Okay, so all of that happened there, so... Here's attach weapon, which I have a scope trace on that. Trace scope on that. Is it like a get next? Is it this shit? If I can fucking type today. I can fucking type today. Gotta warm up the phalanges, you know? Get linked anim instance. Let's throw one on there too. I did not think that these would be expensive. Okay, live coding there too. Let's close all of these guys. Okay. Oh my god. What happened? Okay, hang on, restart. Okay, Unreal Engine gets this way sometimes where it thinks I have like some button pressed down and I don't. Okay, there we go. Alright. Trace it. Alright, just need a few frames, so that should be good enough. Bro, what is all this time from? There's this whole section of 51 microseconds in between get linked anim instance and the calc anim times. What? That's literally all there is. Is it the log? Is it the log? Does the log take that long? How good are Nanite in UE5 for 3D rendering performance? Kind of a complicated question. One that I'll admit that I don't fully understand the answer to, but from my understanding, like the more triangles that you're trying to render, the more beneficial that Nanite is going to be for you. Like, there are scenes that would have been impossible to run on even the world's best supercomputer. Like, I mean, there have been tests on YouTube that you can look up, but like, you know, you can have like a bunch of 2 million polygon meshes, and like your computer would run that at like, you know, fucking 2 FPS. But with Nanite, you can actually run it at like, you know, 60 plus FPS. But like, if you're just sticking with like the old limitations on poly counts, then yeah, Nanite might not give you that much. And there is some, oh my god, it was the fucking, I didn't realize the log had that much performance degradation to it. That's crazy. That's crazy. I did not realize that. Okay, well, we'll have to be mindful of that. Jesus. Okay, what about the vlog? I wonder how expensive the vlog is. Okay, well, case closed there. But anyways, yeah, it's always like with Nanite, there's a upfront cost to it. So if you're using Nanite, they say you should use it for most things if you can. And then of course you need to be wary of, I guess, translucency, and then also super thin geometry, I guess, is also an issue with Nanite. So it's not a straightforward answer, unfortunately. If it were, then there wouldn't be questions about it. I don't think we need that. Okay, so case closed there. I didn't know that that would actually track that. Okay, so now this is running probably like twice as fast. But attach weapon is now like the overwhelming... Probably get rid of these. Those are just unnecessary now. Doesn't really make sense to profile those. Okay, let me see. Yeah, the attach weapon. What in here? Well, there's also a fucking log in here, so that's probably the goddamn issue. Probably the fucking issue. Link, why am I don't think I need to be tracing that. Wow, I did not realize. I did not realize it was that bad. I mean, it's like, what was it? It was like 50 microseconds, which like for a normal game, not a huge deal, right? But when you're running that like 2,000 times a frame, you know, I guess it does have an impact. Okay, just give me a few frames here. Man, it's tiny. It's tiny now. It's running. Oh my god, it's running so much fucking faster. That's so wild. I didn't realize that. Bro, it's running in like a fraction of the time it used to. Okay. Okay. Are you using baked animations or AnimBPs? They are vertex animated instant static meshes. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Just doing some performance testing here. Okay, what was my like next worst thing? And also I added a bunch of trace scopes to my state tree as well. Would be interesting to see. Have I looked at this? Oh yeah, I did look at this yesterday. Choose abilities, set output target location, calcability location, finding path finding. Yeah, most of it's pretty tiny. What are these? Yeah, choosability is seems to be the biggest issue. Which is weird because there's only one ability they can use at the moment. Yeah, I wonder what is choosability doing? What is choosability doing that is so chunky? Oh, I guess like getting the default ability stuff. But yeah, I built my own ECS because I want to run my entire world. And I'll show that real quick. Show you the world. I can show you the world. Let's go back to like the good seed. What was the good? It was like 778, I think. Okay, so I'm working on an RPG, Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural, destructible terrain, and AI-generated quests. So here is just one small section of just one random seed that I found that ended up looking really cool. But part of what I want to do with my game is I want to run the whole world, or at least as much as possible. So yeah, we're going to be spawning some stuff in. So I'll give that a moment. Here's the world map. This is procedurally generated as well. Each like different color here is like a different zone. The colors right now mean the different biomes. So there's like from the perspective of this map, there's like 5 different biomes, but I only actually have like 2 of them filled out. I have like a forest and a plains, so I'll just placeholder assets and textures at the moment. But each of these zones are like these are just like the kinds of biomes that you would see in something like Minecraft or Valheim. They're more like zones in something like World of Warcraft, where they have like a name, they're like contained, they have like physical borders to them. So what I do is I actually create a spline out of all the edge chunks, and I can use that spline when I'm generating the vertices for the chunk, for the terrain, and I can lerp to that, and I create mountains, basically. And so they all have like a border mountain around them. And the zone that I'm in here, like all the zones have different parameterized terrain noises. But this zone up here is different than this one down here. And this one just had a really high altitude offset, an altitude modifier. And so that's what created this giant border here. Usually it's just like a little hump for a mountain. It'll look better in the future, but this one is just like really cool. That one was just like really cool like that. And then these white dots are what I call zone entrance chunks. And these are like how you get from zone to zone. So they're actually, doesn't really make much sense on this zone because it's so high, but on the other zones that are like on the same level, those white dots will be breaks in the mountain. And then each of those zones has a name to it, right? Which is like, ow. Each of those zones has a name to it because I want it to be like flavorful and like kind of grounded in the world. You know, it's not like, you know, if you play Valheim or Minecraft, like the biomes are just kind of there, right? They don't have like, they're not like a zone that exists in the world. So as I hover over this, you can see the names. If you look up here at the top, you can see the names. And these are like LLM generated names. So this is like Shadowfell Crossing, Arcane Academy, the Catacombs of Secrets, Iron Spire Heights, Blightveil Abyss, Serpent's Coil, Maelstrom Coast. Some of them don't really make sense, but eventually I'll like annotate everything and I'm spawning into the zones, the points of interest, you know, the terrain, and I'll pass that into an LLM and get an actual like flavorful name to be generated there. Or you just gonna do an AI LOD for distance? As in for my NPCs? No, I want to run all of them. I'm gonna run all of them. That's what the ECS is for. Well, not all of them, the important ones, right? So I want you to be able to build colonies all over the world. So if you build a colony here, like where I'm standing, and then you run all the way over to, so first of all, each one of these pixels is a terrain chunk, so we're only generating like a radius that big right now. But if I were to run from here all the way over to the other side of the world somewhere, like, I still want your colony to be running. I don't want to fake it. I don't want to just run a, you know, some equation in the background. If you send some guys out into the forest to chop trees or down into the caves to mine, they're gonna have to run all the way there and do that and bring it all the way back. And if there's any monsters or bandits or wolves in the forest or something, they will get attacked by that. And so I'm doing this because I want to make the world feel really alive. And I want the same concept to exist for the NPC ran colonies in the world. You know, I want to create different factions and stuff like that are generated throughout the world that have like their own initiatives and agendas that they're trying to do, such that, you know, it's happening whether you're there or not, you know. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Eventually I'll have ore spawned in here in these caves. It's so big it's not even fully generating, but eventually we'll have some ore in here a la Minecraft. So yeah, that's just one random seed. We can check out some more. Go 781. Maybe this will do a better job of showcasing the edges. And I need to do some more work on it. Right now it's all running in compute shaders, the generation. What game? My game. It's called My Project. We are in the land of the werewolves, apparently. Which is next to the Isle of Skulls, Wyvern's Peak, Keystone Citadel, Howlshade Thicket, the land of the Griffins, and Mirkwood Forest, which is literally ripped straight from Lord of the Rings. That is a Lord of the Rings location. I have dynamic tree chopping, so eventually there'll be a logging skill that'll affect this, but I actually edit the trees at runtime, like their geometry is actually modified wherever the axe hits it. So I chopped all the way through there so it'll fall over. I got a little bit of wood. I got a little bit of wood in my inventory. Eventually I'll have the colonists like take that to like a lumber mill or something like that. And then you can keep chopping and get a little bit more wood. The amount of wood you get is like commensurate to the volume of the chopped log. I'm gonna kick this down in the cave. I say as I kick it the absolute wrong direction. Oh god. Oh, that went way over there. Then yeah, I have like a building system in the game as well that you can send colonists to go do. Usually I have some stuff spawned into the world, but I have that turned off for now. But yeah, you have the ability to recruit the green guys, and then you can tell the green guys to like go forage some mushrooms for you. You can tell them to go construct for you, because like building, you actually need to spend time building. Right, that'll depend on your construction skill eventually. I don't have like any skills in the game yet, but that's the idea, is that you'll actually have to bring the resources over to the building and spend time constructing it. And then therefore you'll want like your colonists to do that for you, right? But the flow of the game is going to be something like, I'm thinking vanilla WoW in terms of RPG, class design, and RimWorld in terms of the Colony Sim mechanics, and then something like Hades for like the roguelite side of things. And so I want like every few levels, as you level up, you'll get a choice of like 3 random abilities unique to your class. And so as you level up, you'll kind of start to create a build. And hopefully there's enough abilities that it'll be unique each time. And you'll have talents as well. These will be static for each playthrough, for each run. So you'll need to pick talents that are complementary to the abilities you've chosen. See how far you can get. And when you die, you'll start over at level 1. That whole process continues. But any colony that you've built, anything that you've done in the world will still be there, right? I'll probably do some small time skip when you die. So maybe your base will get raided, your colony will get raided, but they survive if you set your colony up well. Then maybe they'll have some extra resources for you when you come back around. Maybe you found a really good blacksmith or crafter or something last run that can craft you better gear at level 1 than you would have had last time. So there's a little bit of meta progression there. You can see here, I guess this is at the corner of 4 different zones here. Like there's a red zone there. There's like a flatter zone there. And then this is kind of like a rocky, spiky, craggy type zone. Yeah. That's a little bit about the game. Now back to work. Back to work. Yeah, I was looking at the choosability, and I was just curious as to what in here may be taking the longest. Like, I do this loop over given abilities, but there should only ever be 1 in here. I guess there's just a lot of lookups. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is quite a bit happening here if it gets all the way through. We do have logs. We do have logs. That may be the issue. I wonder how, I wonder, like, out of the total milliseconds for my ECS, like, how much of that is just me putting logs where I don't actually need them? Okay, run that. Pretty much explaining a dream game for me. I'm glad I'm not the only one who wants to play it. Yeah, I'm basically making a game that I want to play. I love Colony Sim type games. I love RPGs. Always wanted to see them paired together well. I know there's like Medieval Dynasty is a game that has done this. I haven't played it yet. It is on my wish list. But then with Colony Sims, like, I always want to, like, I want the full world simulation, you know? And all the Colony Sim games don't really do that. They, like, fake it at some level. I wanted to try and see what I could do about that. I think it's a little bit less. I think it's a little bit less. Calcability location. There's vlogs. There's no UE logs though. Oh, there's one. Forgot one. We're just gonna comment those out for now. Okay, what do I want to optimize here now? Let's stick with, I was still initializing entities there. Let's stick, I'm gonna stick with the gameplay ability ones. I rewrote the gameplay ability system, which is an Unreal Engine framework. It's quite nice, but it wasn't performant enough for me. So I had to rewrite it into my ECS, which I've, for the most part, done. There's a few things I still need to do to add. Like, I don't have, like, stacking abilities or effects yet, but I do have, like, 90% of the gameplay ability system functionality now within my ECS. Have you ever played Bellwright? They kind of do it, but only with your village. No, I haven't played, but that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? Like, they don't do the full thing. Like, they're not simulating a world. I think Dwarf Fortress might be the only game that attempts to do it. I still need to optimize the playback commands. It's so weird how, like, some of these just, like, take way too fucking long, you know? Yeah, so I think the attribute processor, which I have known is going to be the problem child. Yeah, the calculate dependencies is going to be an issue. Now, cancelability is literally just finding the end current ability in him. Also, that's not the right name. How hard is that to optimize? It's not too bad. It's just, you just gotta kind of like playing whack-a-mole a little bit, you know? Just gotta kind of change things, see what happens. And with an ECS, you gotta understand, like, cache locality pretty well. And so it was saying what? End ability? F end current anim. That would be this. That would be the scope, question mark. Remove activation own tags. Let's throw scope traces on all of these. I lose tags. Remove loose tag. Remove loose tag checked. How many skills are you planning on adding? I don't really have a definitive list or anything yet. But you could think of stuff like RimWorld. Like, imagine RimWorld plus Vanilla WoW. Those are the skills I want. Plus tree chopping. Tree chopping is a necessary skill. A necessary skill. Okay, so we have all those. We can run live coding there. And I was looking at the end ability processor because I was thinking that, like, this would be a lot of it. That should never be the case anymore. Can we run live coding? Oh, we need to. Let's rebuild. We'll rebuild there. I wonder actually if I should, like, on the queue add and remove. Throw some scope traces on there. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess today is just optimization. Is that what I'm doing today? I don't even know. What else do I have on my list? I can do projectiles as entities and stuff. Yeah, I need to do a better test of some of the other processors. I need to like give them some periodic effects. To really test the both the attribute and gameplay effect processors. Okay, be fine. It's so spiky now too, because of just how combat is. Let's look here though. And remove tags takes most of that time. Yeah, I need to think about if I want to do that or just, if I want to keep effect tags or just stick with loose. Maybe I should change over to loose tag counts and see if that's much better. Let's do a, I want to throw a trace on these guys. This will be a useful one. And if I can do, where's the one that can take a string? There we go. Here's what we'll do here. Can I get the type name? I don't know if I can get the type name here. Ooh, that is... That's nice, yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yes, please. Oh, that's in a header, so we'll have to rebuild there. I mean, while I'm at it, let's throw it on most of them. These are the functions that are actually like the underlying meat and potatoes of the ECS. You destroy entity. We'll do that. Why not? Destroy entity, add entity data. Some of them, yeah, we already have it on some of them. That's good. Some of these I just don't care about. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, let's rebuild now. What kind of game are you making? It's an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. Okay, the build times have gotten considerably better. I went through and like audited all of my header files and like changed everything to, not everything, but a lot of things to forward declarations, and a number of things that I need to recompile has significantly reduced. Like recompiling the entity subsystem used to take like 80 plus actions. I had to recompile 80 things. So it's a lot better now. Now what? Yeah, we're gonna do another run here. Okay, what do we got? Let's just go through each one here. The ability activation processor is running so well now that I guess the only slow part of that is like constructing the object. Apply gameplay effect processor. Yeah, appending tags to, yeah. This is gameplay tags processor. Check applied effect. Tag requirements. Ooh, that's so nice. That shows up so nicely. I love that. You can see like which getters take the longest. I love that. I should have put that in there so long ago. I mean, this is like not bad. It has to check a lot of effects. It has to check a lot of effects. That was the gameplay tag processor. Yeah, gameplay tags. For each applied effect. It would almost be nice to have a list of things, like a list of applied effects by like which tags they care about. Effect entity. Yeah, I'm kind of wanting to just change to a strict map here and see how that goes for some of these. It's gonna be kind of a hard comparison to make though, because so many things rely on the tag containers. So it's gonna be hard to kind of do a one-to-one comparison. And like these frames are super spiky, so I'll probably just have to do like an overall average when I make that change. Damage processor running like a dream. That one's great. Attribute processor still by far the worst. Calculate dependencies, yeah. Let's look at that real quick. Attribute processor. Yeah, the calculate dependencies is heavy. Entity data, attribute mod data, and then duration, and then end effect data, and then there's a big gap. Yeah, so all of this is this gap right here. The attribute processor is a fickle, complicated motherfucker. That motherfucker is not real. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I have to calculate dependencies. Because, you know, you have all these attributes like health, stamina, mana, you know, strength, armor, all that stuff. Those are all attributes, and like, you may have an attribute that's like, you know, health, and you'll apply an infinite duration gameplay effect to everything, saying that like, hey, your health is equal to stamina times 10 or something. And so that means any effects that modify stamina need to be calculated first before you calculate health. So you have to go through, I have to go through and calculate the dependencies, which ones we care about, and then I have to sort them. I have to sort them. Wait, can I do const ref even? Not sure. Does that make a difference? I don't know if that would make a difference or not. So yeah, it's kind of a heavy thing, and I think, am I calculating every attribute? Every frame? I forget. I think this is doing that. This was kind of complicated, and I didn't like writing it. I did not enjoy it. Then we iterate over every modifier. Yeah, I think we do only recalculate the changed ones. So yeah, I'm not sure what else I can do here other than got 120 microseconds for some of these. That was kind of a longer one in that frame. So 60 to 120 microseconds. To calculate dependencies. Or to recalculate attributes. Yeah, that's a lot. I think I'm recalculating. I'm not recalculating only changed ones. I think what I'm doing is only calculating attributes that have an active effect or had an active effect last frame. So yeah, I could potentially improve it a bit in that way. Wait, you soloing the whole development? Yes. How can I tell if they've changed? Because I remember I started trying to implement that and I was like, oh god, this is way too complicated or something like that. And I was like, I don't feel like doing that right now. So it's like, let me write it to, I'll just write it to do here. To do, change this such that we only recalc attributes of effects that have been added or removed, or effects or their dependent attributes have changed, or attributes that their dependence attribute. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. Making that work without breaking everything is going to be a pain in the ass, though. And I don't even know if that would, the thing is, like, I don't even know if that's going to be more performant. I guess for the most part, the calculate dependencies is less. It's like less than half of the single iteration, so doing a little bit more in this section to get rid of some of these that we don't need may be beneficial. Effect duration processor. Yeah, just running like a motherfucker there. And I'm only running all this on one thread. I intend to parallel process it eventually. I just want to run it on one thread to, one, report any issues with multi-threading first, and then two, to have a better performance comparison for like the full run of the processor. Find ability iter. Yeah, I feel like the end ability processor does not need to fucking take 10 minutes. That just seems a little incessant, I'll say. What is taking that time? What is this? Get entity data, the ANMQ entity data. The fuck do I get the ANMQ entity data here? Oh, end ability, perchance? Or maybe? Yeah, I guess that's in the subclass stuff. Do I not have scope traces on the this is the ability base. right? Indability implementation. I guess we'll add some trace scopes here. Then I should probably do that on like melee auto attack ability too. That's the one. That is the one we are ending. Let's just go through and like add these on the main abilities I have. But I don't need to. While we're at it, we will just set it up on everything. Yeah, I should just not. I should only use vlogs from now on, I think. Wish there was a way where I could just say, hey, just put a scope trace on every function. Event received. Let's delete some stuff here. Okay. Yeah, so the cast montage is not going to work. And I need to replace that, but I don't use it right now, so it's just non-existing. Okay, cast ability, let's do like ranged ability as well. Or can't activate ability, why not? Oh, I didn't fucking change the name. Yeah, that's not the cast ability. That's not a cast ability. Okay, and then what else do I have? Like weapon special ability, I think. Okay, let's rebuild there. Let's rebuild there. So yeah, I think the majority of that is probably going to be the melee ability, and let me think here. Actually, do I want to? I think I may want some more information. Actually, yeah, the reset swing. Hello, there's a log there. That's why. That's right.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Thank you for the raid, my dude. Welcome in. Posed in, welcome. How goes it? How goes the dev?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. What the dog doing?
What the dog doing? I just learned that UE logs like this have a very non-negligible performance impact when you're doing like 2,000 fucking things a frame. That's what I learned. That's what we're doing today. We're just doing some optimizations. How was your stream, though? What were you up to? How's the game going? Imaginary Villain's working on a game called Poppet Quest, which I believe is on Steam now, right? Yeah, 3D platformer, Castlevania-like game. He's considerably far, a lot farther than I am. If you have to, you know, skedaddle, by all means, please do so. But if you're still here, what's left for you on the game? What is left for you? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, run that. Thank you. Thank you. Taylor Thomas with 1,000 jewels. Thank you so much, my dude. Thank you for the gift. I need the plugin I use to stream to YouTube doesn't have, I guess Stream Elements doesn't have an alert for gifts. I should make sure, I should do something about that. I should do something about that. Let me write that down. Stream stuff. Make gift notification. Make YouTube gift notification. I appreciate your support, though. 1,000 jewels. Thank you for the 1,000 schmeckles. Okay, let's take a peek here. Let's take a little peeky peek. Game's going great. I break stuff and somehow it turns out cool in the end. Hey, it's called innovation. Called innovation. Still stuck with work and refactoring. Who knows? Maybe we'll make a breakthrough in a week. What are you stuck on? Perhaps we can help. Yes, the melee instability implementation. But now it's running. Oh my god, dude! The logs turned that into something that was like 10 milliseconds. That is so crazy. How I did not realize how not negligible those log statements were. That is crazy. Sarah, hope you're doing well. Love catching the stream. Keep up the content. Hell yeah, my dude. Thank you for joining, and thank you for hanging out, and thank you for your support. And I am doing well, and I hope the same for you. What's left? The first chapter needs more work on the bosses. They're not amazing, just okay. There's no story in the game either. I see. I mean, that sounds like finishing touch type stuff though, so that's got to be pretty exciting to be at that point. Like, story for me isn't even like a fucking, like, I have some rough ideas, but it's not even like, I'm not even anywhere fucking close to like needing to do that. Beyond that, chapters 2 to 4 are in various states of soon TM. Are you trying to get all the chapters done, or are you releasing a chapter at a time? Early access? What's your release cadence gonna be like here? You know, I understand in development in general, like, I'm a software engineer and I always prefer iterative development, like, which is not what I do at my work, but I've done it at other companies, and I think it's really nice to get feedback as you're working on things. And it's like the whole concept of perfection is the enemy of progress, you know, and it's really fucking true. But I get in like game development, there is like a people come back for like big updates, you know. So I think it's actually kind of harder. I think game dev might have a more justifiable reason to do things less iteratively, you know. So because when you release new, it's not like you can release little tiny bits of content and people are going to come back for each tiny bit. Of course, you wouldn't want them to. So I would be interested to see what like a super iterative development process for game dev looks like, because I think most games do it in like big chunky updates, right? Like complete new versions and stuff like that. And I get that. I'm not talking about like bug fixes and stuff. Obviously, like that's kind of an iterative thing. But I mean like the content, putting more content into the game. I would like to see what like a super iterative, like, you know, if you had like a fucking talent tree and you added a new talent to one class, like just release that, see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, and do that for every time. Let's just release it when it's done, you know? Release it when it's done. Instead of like holding it all back and then releasing it. I would like to see what that looks like. I would like to see what effect that has on players and stuff like that. Because I like, for software development, I like getting feedback from the things. I like small wins, and like that iterative, like releasing is like, it's like the more you put into a release, the harder it is to release, you know, or to launch or whatever. So I think it's in terms of software development, it's just a lot easier to do smaller chunks at a time. And like, it doesn't need to be perfect. All you need, like, for me, the bar is always, does this provide value to the user? If the answer is yes, release it, right? Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. That can come in the following weeks, right? But I know that that's hard for some companies to do. Everything's good, just a little bit complicated. I'm trying to add new feature on top of the existing and it's getting a little bit messy. My head is exploding. Yeah. The good approach, the more playtest, the better. Yeah, I guess the only drawback I see is like getting players to come back after they played the game already, you know? That's like the whole reason I wouldn't immediately want to do that, which is why I want someone else to do it, so I can see what happens. I was trying to just release the whole thing by next October, however, with how long this is taking, it might just be early access next October instead of full release. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any harm in releasing a vertical... I mean, it could even be a demo, right? Like, you know, your chapter 1 could be the demo for the game if you're doing a demo. And I think that would be a positive thing. Last time I joined, you couldn't see Twitch comments on YouTube. I like that you added that. Oh, really? How long ago was that? That had to have been a lot long ago. That had to be a long time ago. Because that's been there for months and months now. You can't do it. Give up. Thank you. What are you hoping for here? Attention? I think the answer is attention. He wants attention. All trolls just want attention. Okay, the game, yeah, so it's the end gameplay effect processor. Wait a second, what am I on? No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, end ability processor now is running like an absolute fucking beast here. End ability implementation. Let's look at the end melee ability implementation. Johnny B, welcome. Your stream is still running. Happens. It happens. You know, it's stupid that Twitch doesn't just like turn that off, you know? Oh, maybe it was just hard to see last time. Last Saturday? Oh yeah, it definitely was. It was definitely there. But yeah, I get that like on YouTube Shorts, like the UI is kind of scuffed. You know, because it just puts the fucking chat like overlaying everything. If B was canceled, you know what I should do? I think a small, super duper, tiny, itty bitty optimization would be to do this. Yeah. So that might help out a little bit there. That might help out a little bit there. Yeah. Because I'm getting the I was fetching the animation queue even when it wasn't necessarily canceled. I think most of these will end naturally, so they won't be canceled. Yeah, I can save 100 nanoseconds. Yeah. Although it was calling end current anim. Maybe they are being canceled. It probably shouldn't. Don't Twitch, you're asking if Twitch allows merged chat. I mean, I don't know. I've read the stipulations and whatever. I don't think they're gonna give a shit if a 17 viewer Andy is merging chat, personally. And no one had ever gotten banned for the simulcasting guidelines before Nutty. His name was Nutty, and I actually have watched his videos to help set up my stream, but like, he builds like his own like streamer bot stuff. He builds like utilities for streamers, and he was working on multi-streaming to TikTok, and he was like telling his viewers to donate to him on TikTok to test what he was developing, and then he got banned because it's like, yeah, you can't. I totally get, you know, you can't tell your Twitch viewers to like go to a different platform and then spend money on that platform. Like I get that that's not good, right? But yeah, the Twitch guidelines specifically cite having merged chats, but then they also cite like you need to have the same experience. Like the Twitch cannot have an inferior experience. And it's like, well, if you don't show both chats on screen, then technically you are giving Twitch an inferior experience because they're not going to be a part of the conversation that's happening on the other stream. So I find it to be conflicting, and I'm just kind of like, you know, I've been doing it for a while now, and, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone to go to a different platform specifically. At least I hope I haven't done that on accident, but it's like, yeah, it's pretty vague, and yeah, I don't think anyone has specifically been banned for having merged chats, and I'm wondering, is Nutty streaming right now? I'm wondering if he still if he's still doing the merged chat or not. Let's see if he's still doing like merged chat. Oh, he's fucking playing guitar. No, give me a dev stream or something. Give me a stream where you have, oh, that's clips. Recent broadcasts. That looks like he's got, like, chat on screen here. Do you have merged chat? He's got the Twitch icons there. I don't see any YouTube icons. So maybe he turned that off then. Maybe I should go to his YouTube stream. Oh, he's on Kick now. Or he's got Kick chatters or something. Oh, well, he's got YouTube and... Yeah, he's got it all in there. He's still merging it, and he's not getting banned for it, even though he is the only one to ever have gotten banned for simulcasting guidelines. Which they were super vague about, so... Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. If they have an issue with it, they can give me a temp ban, and I'll be happy to stop doing it at that point. But yeah, Twitch will get an inferior experience if that's the case. Okay, back to testy tests. So yeah, that maybe can get a little bit better. Or the instability processor can. Duration. Let me look at the duration processor. That is actually taking longer than I would have thought. Is periodic effect. Yeah, is there anything I can do here? I don't know if there's anything I can do here. Unity question mark. Guess again. Yeah, I don't really know if there's any way to speed this up. This is about as bare bones as you can fucking get. I guess I check is periodic twice here. Yeah, I guess I could just do this up in here. From delta time variable look more like Unity. That is a interesting thing to think this distinguishes it as Unity. I'm just gonna hover my cursor over the .cpp files, and then I'll let you guess again. It's Unreal Engine. It's Unreal Engine. Yeah, delta time is a concept I would think most engines have. I guess the reason I did this afterwards is because I incremented the time and then rechecked, right? I'm gonna leave that as is for now. Okay, yeah, we looked at that one. Dude, the playback commands are taking so fucking long. Dude, I feel like they're not getting cleared or something, because, like, I guess I do add, like, a ton of fucking data here. Yeah, that's probably the next biggest bang for my buck. Okay, so now that I've kind of gone through these a little bit, let's commit what I have. What is it? There's just like some MISC performance fixes and scope, you know, add CPU trace scopes and remove UE logs for performance, basically, is what we did there. Okay, so whoops. Okay, so next things I should do. Only recalc change attributes. Yeah, that is something I should do. And then command buffer optimizations is probably the next biggest bang for my buck. Probably command buffer optimizations is the bigger one. Yeah. And then changing actor components into entity data. That's another big one. Chunk processor, that's just like something else that I need to do. Only recalc change that. God, all of these are like significant complexity. I think the command buffer optimizations are going to be my best bet right now. Where is I guess it would be, so what I want to do here is let me look at this real quick. I think I want to aggregate all of the good archetype features. I want to aggregate all of the commands in the command buffer. Also, oh, these aren't pinned. Pin that. Pin. The clean workspace here. How much time have I been using C++? Same amount of time I've been working on this project. 3 years. Okay, so whenever I add or remove, anytime entity data changes for an entity, I have to change its archetype, which means I have to move it into a new location in memory. And that's what the command buffer does. I have to do that in like a separate step from the processor because I need the memory to be stable, such that I can run it in a parallel process way, right? So I only process the command buffer in between processor runs. But the thing is, like, a lot of these, I am probably adding multiple pieces of data per entity. And that means I am changing its archetype multiple times, like each time we add a piece of data there. Like end gameplay effect processor, apply additional effects. Let's look at that real quick. Apply effect to target. I kind of want to scope trace that. By handle, yeah, this will be by spec. These are the two public ones, right? Yeah, and then the rest are per techie. Okay. I do want to see those, but yeah, I would be adding multiple pieces of entity data potentially. Q add entity data instance. I don't know. Maybe I should do a test here on like playback commands. Let's just log some stuff. Let's just log some stuff to get some stats here. So let's go to where I want to see like how much would be saved here. Guess, oh, that's the complete wrong thing. That is not the class that I wanted. Okay. Playback commands. Okay, let's do some logging. Okay, let's do a T set F entity. Entities with commands. Add command dot entity. Yeah, so they should all have an entity on them. I'm going to put that in a T set. And then I'm going to UEL. I'm going to log. Yeah, we're just going to, and I know I said this was slow, but we're just getting information. Num entities. Entities with commands dot num entities, spelled it wrong, and then num commands. Is there a better way to log this? Because this is going to be kind of hard to read. So I'll just do commands dot num here. I guess just rebuild. We'll rebuild that. Then I want to run that, and we'll see how different these two numbers are. If these numbers are pretty close to each other, then there's not going to be much I can do. It would be nice if I could like get an average of these. That'd be kind of annoying to come. How would I come up with that? Is there a way I can add like some sort of counter, like a profiler counter or something? It would be nice. I think I may have to like do all that manually though. Yeah, I guess where am I gonna, I guess I'll just look this up in the output log, which is gonna, this might be super fucking laggy. We'll see. Let's do less so we don't like explode the computer. Let's do 500 in there. Okay, I'm just gonna pause and read some of these. Honestly, oh boy, look at that one. I mean, that was at spawn. So spawning, I think there's probably gonna be a lot. There's some that's like 370 entities, but 2,000 commands. Some of these are equal, or mostly equal. That's gonna have a ton of bugs. Thank you. Although everything now, although this one is like 23 and 46. And you know what? Let's actually log this just like this. I think that'll be a little bit easier to compare. Let's just log the diff. Let's just log the diff. Let's just do that. Yeah, we are getting some pretty high diffs. Like 500, that's pretty high. That's pretty high. Some of it's a lot, there's a lot more zeros than I thought there would be though. But yeah, this is pretty spiky. So like 500 extra operations basically. I'm currently learning C++ before UE5. Is it worth it to continue or is it kind of useless? What's your goal? Is your goal to work in Unreal Engine in C++? If that's your goal, then you should just do that. But if that's not your goal, then maybe you shouldn't. But it's all about what's best for you. And I don't know what that is. Okay, so I think there would be benefit. There would be benefit here. So let me think about how this happens. It's a part of the archetype utils. Move entity to here. I was hoping to come up with a kind of batch way to do this. Okay, I just have to like re-look through this and remember what the hell I was doing. I don't think that would ever get hit. New component types. Move entity to here. Yeah, I guess I just need to do this. Remove entity from the old one. And so move entity to here. We have the new component data. Some people say it's useful to learn C++ for UE5, but others say that skipping the coding part and relying on blueprints. What's your opinion on that? I mean, it's all really dependent on what you want to do and what kind of game you're working on, what your goals are, and what your skills are. I was a programmer before Unreal Engine, and the kind of game I'm making is very performance intensive. So that all led me to using code, and I prefer writing code over blueprints. I do use blueprints as well. But there's not one answer for everyone. Okay, so I think I can do this if I just change it to like an array. Source index, what is that? Is that the source index of the old data? Current record row. Oh no, that's the entity row. I have a feeling I'm gonna fuck this up the first time I do it. And then copy from. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then the new, yeah, and then we don't need, yeah, okay, I think we can do this. So I think I just need to make this a T array. All right, let's start cracking. New component datas, we'll call that, what was that? New component, actually undo that, yeah. I will do it myself. I don't want you to change things. I still need to know what it was looking like. Add entity data. Okay, yeah, so T array here as well. Data instances. No current record or invalid. We'll just, I guess we'll just go is empty. Well, because eventually I would need to iterate over it, right? New type ID. Yeah, this now needs to be an iterative process. I feel like that should never happen. Let me write, we're just going to do for each here on data instances. Data instance. New type ID. So I need to like tabulate all of these, I suppose. This part, we'll do that later. We'll do that at a later point. Okay, so new component types, we will add all of the new type IDs. This should instead be continue instead of return. So we have all of the new type IDs, and then I think we go data instances. That we should be able to come up with the destination archetype there. And then this part, I think I actually want to, and again, I don't know if this ever actually gets hit. I don't think this ever actually gets hit, because why would the current archetype have the added ID already? I guess I would just override it. If that's happening, I should probably prevent. Oh, that would be like an overwrite, I would think. So maybe we'll just log if that happens, and I want to see where that's happening from. Okay, source archetype, component arrays. Yeah, we're going to copy all of the source ones. which we're gonna copy from. I think that handles it. So I'm gonna like just comment this out. I'm gonna comment that out and see what happens. Set the new components data. So I guess we just for each through the data instances now. Does that just work? We will need to... Oh, now it's like using the... Oh, shit, okay. Add entity data. We have two different add entity datas. We have a templated one and a non-templated one. Add entity data. Let's rename that to add entity data instance. We want to do that there. And then we also want to do that here. But now this is where we need to have all of these commands stored in like a map, I guess a map structure. Okay. Yeah, let's just store... It needs to be a T-map of T-array. T-map of F entity to T-array. Okay, command.component data. So I guess we don't really need to store the entity on the command. That's kind of nice. Okay, command.component data for each command. I guess, no, I don't do for each command. I want to do commands. See, the thing here is like these commands have separate types as well. Shit. Do I need to store it by the command type? I think I need to combine these functions. Okay, so I think in the add entity data instance, this is going to be slightly different. Because now this is going to be a T array of f entity command. Let's get rid of entity on there. We don't need that. On a data component type, add component or remove component. Yeah, then I guess we need to like for each entity command. If command dot component data dot is valid, else if command dot component type, that'll be remove data. This is add data. And then we'll want to copy all of that and throw that in there. Oh dear, I did not copy that right. My copy pasta skills are subpar, it seems. New component types. Yeah, we already have that. So goodbye. Type ID. And then we remove entity from the old archetype, it seems. Although we already have current archetype. And we already do the new index. So I think I can get rid of that. Move entity to here. We're not doing that yet. No, all we are doing is removing. That's all we're doing right there. Okay, that is all we are doing. And then move entity to here with data instances, new component datas. I do need to keep track of the new component datas, I think. So I think I need to make a new... Do I make a new array or do I just pass in the... I think let's make a new array. Data instances, yeah. Let's reserve some memory here. Entity commands dot num. We don't need to resize the array as we iterate through it. Okay, so then that's what we pass into the move entity function. I hope that works. I think so. And then move entity to here. That one I think is good. We'll see if this needs to be done. Okay, so now add entity data instance. We're gonna change this to process commands for entity. Okay, that did nothing to actually rename it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Semicolon, of course. Of course, of course. This is Uggo. Yeah, that's Uggo. I don't like that. Can I move temp here? Let's not fuck with the move semantics for now in case I get it wrong. We'll maybe do that later. Yeah, but this is like copying. Yeah, that's kind of bad. Well, again, we'll take care of it later. We'll take care of that later. Commands in place. Yeah, we also just need to pass in the entity here now too. Okay. Where else am I initializing this bad boy? There. Okay, we're good. Now we're good. Add entity data instance. Now. Ooh, destroy entity. Hang on. Q add entity. Q destroy entity. What do I do here? It's just an empty instance struct. So neither of them are going to be populated. Pajdian. I'll go have a great stream and have fun, everybody. Until next time. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Have a good one, my dude. Playback commands. I guess now process commands for entity needs to handle that. And honestly, entity command type, I don't really need to know what that is anymore. I can tell based off of what these are. We'll keep it in for now, though. Comment this out. Zach, welcome in. And then I need to make sure I do this part. I need to make sure I do that part. Now this is interesting. Now, if I'm destroying entity in the middle of this, I should just return, right? I don't want to do anything else. Yeah, I think that would work, because then we wouldn't even do the rest of this. And I think that's correct. Yeah, I think that's correct. Also, I think I'm recalculating the spatial grid, which maybe I don't need to do that. Oh, I just directly do that, huh? Okay. All right, let's fucking rebuild. Let's see if I did this right. I'm gonna BRB while this rebuilds. So give me just a hot second. Give me a few minutes. Okay, hang on, never mind. Playback commands. What are you saying to me? Hides class member. Okay. That does make sense. Okay. Okay, now I'll BRB. What the heck is this? Which one of you did this? Which one of you did this? But of course I know that man. He's me. Okay. Could not convert from initializer list to... Okay, so that's... It has an issue here. Okay, we won't do the destructure then. still? Wait, what is this talking about then? I can't in place. Wait, what? You remove entity data. What are you saying to me? That is something else. That doesn't matter right now. Okay, there's a lot more than just 3. God, this templated, the templated error messages are always a pain to read. So I can't even do that. Why? Oh, it's an array. Duh. Yeah, it doesn't exactly tell you that, does it? But like in place, no, I can't do it this way. I have to like find or add entity. Let's change commands to entity commands. Auto ref commands. Okay, yeah, that's what I have to do, basically. I don't know why I thought it would be any different. Okay, let's try that now. Still bad. Entity commands now hides process. Class member. Okay. My bad. There we go. All right. Oh, how I hope this works and doesn't have any issues or side effects of any kind. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, you are taking an abnormally long time for just 15 things. Thank you. Okay. Now we test. Now doth it work? Doth it work? Okay, close that for now. Just do one entity. See if there is any crashes. Yes, immediately. Okay. Okay. Immediately we crashed. So let's just walk through. Okay. We are immediately adding a command. What is that command? What is your command? Move speed attribute data. Okay. I don't think that is the first thing that gets added. Right, so we did add some data already. We did add some data already, so maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe we needed that. Process commands for entity. Let's look through here real quick. What do we got? New component types. Of course, I need to change all these to like actual names. Like debugging will just be a lot easier. Current archetype. So I suppose the destination index is not correct, right? 0 type source. Source index is 1. Okay, so the source index was wrong here. Okay. The source index. For which data type ID? I hate how hard this stuff is to debug. I really do. The source archetype for each component array. Which component are we in here? I wish it told me. I wish I had information. Okay, so component array. Find pair.key. Which I don't know what that is. Location entity data. So am I mistaken in that each of these component arrays should be the same length? I think they should at this point. Good morning, welcome in. Yeah, they all seem to be of length 1. Yeah, they are all of length 1. And that is the source archetype? Yes. It's midnight here. Well, a very early good morning to you. We're not even adding multiple at a time here, so I'm confused as to why this one broke. Like, what did we do differently? Draconin, welcome. Happy Game Dev Saturday indeed. Add entity. Yeah, what am I fucking doing here? Source index. And how am I getting the source index? Current record row index. So I find the current record with entity locations.find, and then before, let me do the get diff here. It's the same way. We're doing it the same way. Doing it the same way. So why is your row index incorrect? So this is the destination array. I mean, that should have added at new index 0, source index of 1. God, oh, I wish I did this back when I wrote this. I would have had a much better understanding. The reasoning for why I did things certain ways. The thing is, like, this doesn't even have things at index 1. Even before this. This archetype. Move into it's I don't think we're not removing. Yeah, we don't remove until we're done with everything, which is here. And other things have gotten added, like there is other data, so I'm not sure why this piece, of data is all fucksy-wucksy here. I'm gonna rebuild or rerun. I'm just gonna see if it crashes on the same thing or not. Don't know what that would tell me, but it would be nice to see. Find or create archetype. That is the destination archetype, which is the same thing we do for add and remove. So that should be fine once we get the new tabulated archetype. So we're just going to run with, again, one entity here. Okay. Crash in the same spot. Is it the same data, though? That's what I want to know. It is location entity data. And it is when we add move speed data. Okay, so it's crashing in the same way. Okay, at least it's reproducible. Let's look up where current record row index is set, because that is what is wrong. Again, only when we remove entity data isn't used. So we don't use remove entity data anymore. So that should have no effect. The rest of those are reads. What are you building, dude? A video game. I'm working on my ECS, trying to optimize my command buffer by batch processing commands on a per entity basis. I know that sounds like a lot. And it is proving to be a lot. So yeah, the only place that gets changed is remove entity. Where we set row index here. New index. New index is 1. Is JetBrains writer? Q add. So this is just happening automatically. We're not doing a batch process here. Now we would have come from a place where we already added some entity data. Entity data is already, this is actually for the player. Entity data has already been applied before. But source index is wrong. Look at the diff here. Yeah, do we... Let me look. Add entity. For component arrays. This is on the archetype. So move entity to here. It is the destination archetype. Can you explain showing workflow diagram of this module? No, I don't have a diagram. If you're interested in the higher level of what this is doing, you can search for archetypal ECS systems. But it's adding to this is adding on the destination array. So why the fuck is the source array index wrong? It is wrong too. Like I can look in the arrays. They only have 1. All of them only have 1. Right, and we're using source index on the component array. Pair value get source archetype component arrays. Can I see what that is? Source archetype. I can look. You let me. Current archetype. Yeah, that all only has 1 in there. So it's almost like it didn't get removed properly. Did we destroy an entity? Hang on. Let's put a breakpoint there. Do I ever get there? I think maybe something got moved out of it and then it maybe didn't set the row index here properly. Global entity locations. Maybe I should look at that. Yeah, did we ever... I don't think we get to destroy entity, but I just want to make sure. No, we don't. Okay, so... Remove entity. What is entity locations? Show me that. Yeah, I think we didn't remove it previously. Properly. This is Unreal Engine, yes. Remove at swap. If row index not equal to last index, row index is the current record index. And then we remove at swap, which if we're already, it's basically just checking, hey, if we're already the last element, we don't need to change the row index. And then we're trying to rewire the entities here. Yeah, so we remove at swap in the entity index map. Or index to entity map. We do it in both. Global entity locations last. So this is what would have to set it. So if we've removed the last index, row index is the input one, which is the current. That's the current record row index. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how else we could have done it. I don't see how else we could do this. And how do I even debug that that's the issue? Do I need to like step through each one that gets here maybe? Let's maybe just inspect this process here. Okay, try again. Spawn it. Spawn player, I guess. Okay. Process commands for entity. Q add command. We are adding the first one. So we got to remove current archetype, which is empty. Right? It should be empty. Yeah. Empty. Let's just skip to the next one. This is now rotation data. Okay, so now we should actually be removing something from somewhere. But there's only one. Right. There's only one. They're still both zeros. Still both zeros. Still. Yeah, when does that ever get set to fucking 1? They're still both 0, 0. Do add entity data. We are adding health. Now we've moved. Now we have moved. Okay. Last index, 0. Okay, what? Is the deal? What is happening here? Entity to index map. I assume we will be removing entity to index map, or index to entity map. Yeah, so there's 2 of the same entity here. In both of these. How did that happen? Should that have happened? I don't think so. I don't think that should have happened. Where do we edit this at? Add entity. I'm wondering if we are adding... I wonder if the current and source archetype are the same on accident. If this equals source archetype. I want to rerun that. Does that ever get hit? Should it get hit? I don't know. I don't know if that should get hit or not. That would be if you're adding data that already... I mean, I guess that's theoretically realistic that could happen. I feel like I probably shouldn't need to do that unless I wanted to just like reset the data. Yeah, there's only 1 in each map here. Why not using Copilot? I do have Copilot. Yeah, this is debugging. There's not something Copilot can just automatically do for you. Both still only have 1 and 0. Where are we at? We're here. Okay. Aha. I was fucking right. I added it twice. I see that now. Okay. That's the issue. I found it. There's the bug. I found it. Okay, so now what should happen in this case? Because first of all, I just shouldn't do that. It's not necessary. But also, it could happen, and I don't want to fucking crash when that happens, right? So if we're moving into the source archetype, use GPT. Use your brain. How about them apples? Everyone loves Morning Drug. Everyone loves the odd Oculus cameo as well. Welcome in on. How's it going, brother? How's it going, my dude? How is the game going? Actually, have you seen Odd, have you seen that Fellowship game? It's not like the same kind of game as you're making, but I feel like it might have some crossover, some corollary. Might be worth checking out to see what they do, good or bad. It's essentially just like Mythic WoW dungeons with no world. Not the kind of game for me, but it's just like it's just a queue simulator for Mythic Dungeons is the game. But I know you wanted to do like party-based PvE dungeons, so might be something to check out. Okay, so yeah, we are moving into the same archetype. If that's the case, do you know how to code Java Kotlin? Yes, I do. Ah, yeah, Fellowship, that sounds familiar. You coded that all without LLM. I have been writing code for 14 years, my dude. Yes, I have been raw dogging code for for a while. That's not a crazy thing. It's a pretty normal thing. I use LLMs a little bit. I do use them some. Autocompletes are very nice. I don't want to add entity here, I think is the key. And then copy data for all components that exist in both archetypes. It's just like new component datas. What am I fulfilling? What am I putting in new component datas? Okay, yeah, so that should only be the data that we're essentially just going to overwrite. Dude can make GTA 6 by himself? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. What's the game name you're creating / developing? Right now it's called My Project. And do you create a new game every live? No. I do not create a new game every live. That sounds masochistic. Raw drawing, yes. You work as a game dev or you have a first job at system development? I am a software engineer. I do not work in the games industry, nor do I want to. Anyways, yeah, I guess just iterating over the new component data. And so I guess the only reason we need... Okay, so I will want new index, but I'm going to say if this not equal source archetype, we need to do that part where we actually copy the data. Otherwise, we're just copying data into itself, which that don't make no sense. Okay, and then let's initialize new index to, what do we initialize that to? And also, why am I not just returning that? I mean, that's fine. Source index. I just initialize it to source index. Okay, so let's do this. If, yeah, no need to move. This can happen if we are adding entity data. If we are adding entity data for a type that already exists, what would be your advice to improve coding logic? To code lots of logic. The best way to learn. Who was the author that said the best way to learn how to write a book is to write a book? There was some author that said that. Feels like fucking Mark Twain or some shit. And then I'll say essentially overwriting. And then that would be done here. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. And also, I will delete this because I shouldn't be adding the health attribute data twice. By the way, Odd, we've rewritten gameplay ability system. It is completely rewritten. No more ability system component for me. It's gone. Delete it. Good night, sweet prince. Friendship ended with ability system component. Now ability system entity data is my friend. Yeah, now we're just going through and optimizing. We are optimizing. Okay, let's play. Yeah, those are the breakpoints. Fuck, we still got here. Oh, shit. Rababi, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Okay, same issue, I presume. Different. Huh? No, it's still... Okay, so that didn't fix it, actually. That didn't fix it. Shit. Well, shit. If they are equal... Oh, because we do the remove as well, which we shouldn't. Yeah, I think that's probably the issue. Okay, try that. Do you still use effects and attribute sets, but not the component? Nope, rewrote those two. I don't use any. I don't use the gameplay ability. I don't use gameplay effects. I do have my own effects, which are just pieces of, they're just structs, just entity data. I have my own abilities as well, which function much like gameplay abilities, but with much less boilerplate. And then I have my own attribute sets as well, which are just enums now. So I can show you like, so here's my entity archetype, right? So this has all the entity data that is going to be added onto my entity. Ability system defaults, so I can specify attribute sets, which are just UObject containers that I just use for the editor. And so anyone that's a colonist gets food, max, sleep, max sleep. These are just, this is a list of enums that I've specified as my attributes, yeah. And then we can also have default applied effects. And then this is like, these are things that that this entity spawns with, right? So like calculate max health, let's look at that. So this is a UObject container just for the editor. So took what, three weeks to create DAS drawing ability system. I think it was 3 or 4. It was probably closer to 4. But yeah. So I have some information about whether or not it's a buff. That's kind of superfluous. The real meat is the duration here, which is just, you can also add duration here. Like these are all my entity effect datas that can customize an effect, right? So this is what duration data actually looks like. I just did this for kind of ease of use, but this UObject, it only exists in the editor. And when I spawn the entity, I just like create a struct out of this, right? I create like the actual effect, which an effect is an entity in my system. And then I can, all these different attribute datas that are on here, or not attribute data, effect datas. One of them can be an attribute mod effect data, where I can select which attribute I want it to modify. I can select what kind of modification I want to make, if I want to add, if I want to multiply before additive or multiply after additive, or if I just want to override it. There's different calculation types. I can just set it equal to a float. I can do attribute based, like this is max health, so max health is 10 times stamina. Or I can do a custom calculation class, which something like, I think maybe Melee Crit has a custom calculation class, which this is just yet again. Oh, that's a yeah, it's like, look how much simpler this is than the magnitude modifier calculations that you had to do in gas, you know. It's super simple. You can blueprint these if you want to. I think I have a couple that are blueprinted. But yeah, it gets passed information about the entity, the source, the target, and then you can just get any attribute data you want to, do any kind of calculation you want to here. So that's effects, and yeah, there's a bunch of different. I have gameplay tags, gameplay tag processors that check for different like tag effects and stuff. Like maybe not. Let's not do a calc one. Let's do like wait for mana regen. So it can have asset tags. It can have tags that it applies, and you know, full access to that. Blocked by tags, canceled by tags, apply additional effects data, all that stuff. I think one of the only things I haven't done is stacking, because I don't have any abilities that require stacking yet. So yeah, ability system entity data, given abilities. So gameplay abilities look very similar. I've just kind of like streamlined it. Entity ability base. So there's still like an activate, and I need to clean this up a little bit, but there's still like an activate fun. The primary things are like, can it activate? There's like a cost. They're very similar to how the gameplay ability works already. I just don't want all of the overhead of having to use that. And then there's like an end ability as well. Basically, yeah. And you can implement it in blueprints if you want. Do like cast ability or like projectile ability here. I should have some code in it, yeah. So activate ability, have some events and stuff, all that. Why you use IntelliJ instead of VS Studio? Is it better? For Unreal Engine, yes. It's also Rider, not IntelliJ, but same thing basically. Baby Fist, welcome. You gave nice tips and answers to chat. I'm subscribing, hoping to see more workflow, I guess. Hell yeah, I stream almost every day, so we're in the right place. How do you do that? I can't code without AI. I have been coding since 2 years. Yeah, you have to stop using the AI at some point. The boomer version of that is Stack Overflow and Google, which is how I started. And yeah, I probably didn't write my own code for a couple of years. I was copy pasting everything. You gotta get off the teat of the AI. Anyways, let's see if I fix my fucking shit. I think no. I think the answer is no. No, I did not. Hello? Ah, we are fucking right. We're locked. Yeah, that makes sense. And so we already would have locked here. Yeah, right. So we already would have right scoped locked. Where else do I call destroy entity from? This is the only usage. Okay, so then we can get rid of that one. I don't know, why would we be destroying an entity right there? Oh, probably for like an instant effect. That's probably an instant effect getting applied. Yeah, AI definitely helps. Less and less the longer your project goes on. Then it becomes up to you. Yay, I spawned. Oh, it's working. Yay. So yeah, this is the gameplay ability in action. Or gameplay ability system in action. I say as my ranged auto attacks don't work. That was a move speed there. Okay, so the anim queue has some work. I still need to do some work with the anim queue. Okay. Should we do a big testy test? Look at him. Wow. It's working. It's working. It's working. This is 500 in combat, which already far exceeds and runs better than using gameplay ability system. Alright guys, welcome. So yeah, that was like, I mean, I'll restart that to see, but that was 500. Because like before, when I was using gameplay ability system, I got to about 200 entities, and then I dropped like below 20 FPS. That was 500, and it was running at, I think it was like 20 or 30 at the beginning. Yeah, around 20 at the beginning. So we've already more than doubled, and I'm only using one thread. This is all only on one thread still. I have not done any parallel processing, so we can get many times this. We should be able to get 7 times that. But we're still optimizing. There's still fruit to be gobbled. Low-hanging fruit. What was I looking at here? Yeah, so we want to look at the playback commands here. Which is what we should have been optimizing. Currently, what is your bottleneck? I mean, this is this whole section right here is just this is my ECS running. So like right now, my biggest thing is the state tree, which makes sense. I think that probably always will be the worst one. Beyond that, the velocity processor and the attribute processor. So the attribute processor is quite complicated because I have to do a topological sort and I have to calculate the dependencies of changed attributes and then sort them such that any dependent attributes of other attributes are calculated first, and then I need to make sure any added and removed effects recalculate whatever attributes they were applied to. It's a very complicated thing. Process damage event aggro seems to be a big part of that. Handling the attributes. So I have like attribute change listeners. That's a big part of it, as you can see. Velocity processor. I know I can do better here. I should probably split this into multiple because this is doing some move input stuff along with velocity processing, along with gravity, and along with like surface movement. So it's doing a lot, and there's like line traces and shit happening in here. Honestly, the fact that it's running that well is pretty good to see. Can't you spread the state tree over multiple frames? Yes. I do have time slicing built into the ECS system now, so I already time sliced the aggro radius processor because that was actually my worst processor, because that's a nested spatial loop. So I had to write in like a spatial data grid like into the ECS, not just like a processor that I run post process, but I actually am storing my archetypes in a spatial grid now, and then there is a spatial ECS for each that I can use, like a special one that says give me every entity in this radius. And then that way I don't have to iterate over every single entity in the world. And that's just doing like a bounding volume hierarchy kind of thing. But it's still a nested loop, and it's still really bad. So when you're calculating, like when you're trying to figure out like, hey, has something walked into the radius of this entity that it's hostile to, like that's actually a heavy process. So I only do that, I think every 400 milliseconds for every entity is what I do. But I could do something similar with the state tree, and that's all just built in and stuff. Like it doesn't tick, like it doesn't like tick every entity every frame. It does like check every entity every frame, but like it doesn't actually like run logic every entity every frame, because like the state tree sometimes just doesn't need to do anything, and that's like just kind of built in. So I think it'll really be about making sure like some of these like calculability location, like the ability to use, or the location to use the ability at, that one's taking a little bit of time. That move to is kind of errant as well. Yeah, do I need to run the state tree every single frame? I mean, no, probably not, but I would like that to be as updated as possible. Anyways, let's go back to the 1000 test and compare the command buffer performance. So this is 1000. What are line processes or whatever you just said? Processors? Processors are just things that iterate over entities for the ECS system that perform some certain logic. So the state tree processor would be one of those. And you can see how like some of these guys, they don't go run an attack, and it's actually taking way too long. So there's probably something wrong with the time slicing that I did. Okay, let's stop there. I want to compare. Yeah, we'll do this one. This is an old one. And then compare that with the one I just did. Okay, let's look here. Okay, let's start to look at the playback commands after apply gameplay effect processor. Some of these are not going to get... Okay, that one actually took longer. Gameplay tags processor. Is this happening in a different order now? What happened here? These frame, I need a different frame. Give me a different frame. One where I actually activate abilities in. It's so hard to compare these because there's just not an equal number of things happening every frame. So it's not like I can do like a one-to-one test here. Add entity data. Like these should be batch. These should be batched. Now. Apply gameplay effect processor. That one's much less. But also, God, it's so hard to compare these. It is so hard to compare these. I have no idea if that was actually a positive change or not at this point. I mean, I can take the average, but it's just like... I can try to look at a big picture version of this. So there's about 20 seconds worth of running. .7. Okay, so max time 10, average 0.8, median 0.4. Max time 9, average time 1, median 0.6. So wait. Did I make it worse? Did I make it worse? How did I make that worse? Of course, it's just dropping as more of them die. God, everything is different. I can't even tell. I cannot even tell. It works, question mark. Yeah, so I mean this function that used to be add entity data now would take longer to run. But it should only be doing it once per entity instead of being called multiple times per entity. I would hope that that means that this would be better. I mean, some of these add entity datas are actually less. So that's nice. Okay, can I move temp here? Also, like, I don't need the add component or anything. I don't need the type, rather, so I can delete that off of the command. This is Unreal, yes. So we don't need to do that anymore. In place, move temp maybe here. We don't do any copies or anything. Move temp. List initialization using constructor. Yeah, that's fine. Move temp here as well. We can rebuild that. Now, is there anything else I can potentially skip here? Like, I go through all the commands. When will you release to play? Maybe in like 20, 30 years. What is your fucking deal, bro? Hmm? Huh? I can't move temp. No, we don't like that. We do not like that. No siree. Okay, understood. I think that this one's fine though. I think that one's fine. Does in place already takes the R value? So does that just automatically happen? Stevie has a reminder set for 2030. She did do that, yeah. Would you recommend to start Unreal with CPP instead of blueprints for people who don't know CPP but don't know Unreal? That answer is different for every single person, for every single type of game that is being made, for every single skill set. I was a programmer before I started Unreal, and the kind of game I'm making requires things that are very performant. So for those reasons, I use C++ mostly. I use blueprints as well. For someone who's not making a very complicated game and is also not a programmer, I don't think it would make very much sense to learn C++ if they didn't need to. It all depends on all the variables. You have to make that decision yourself. Am I gonna run this? What am I gonna do? What do I want to do here? I kind of want to log, like, move entity to here. That data. I want to do a little bit of information here. Let's do F archetype move entity to here, copy from, and also here, and this is going to be set data. Rebuild that. Yeah, this is it's just really hard to get a one-to-one performance comparison here. Because it's not like, for the ability system processors, they don't run every frame, everything. So it's just really, like state tree, that should run basic, well, maybe not state tree, but every other processor, it's like the velocity processor runs for every entity, every frame. Like it's an easy to do a performance comparison there. Okay, gameplay tags processor took 6 milliseconds both times. So playback took 3.4 there, 3.1 here. So it's like, but I don't know how many batches, like this may have been a scenario where not very many, where there was distinct ads for each entity, so there was not very much batching happening here. Oh, this is remove entity data anyways. I mean, it's like, I cannot tell. 13. I mean, these frames are pretty similar. Vectoration processor. Okay, effect duration processor. That one, there wasn't even a playback commands that happened after that. Cache miss. Bro, the ability cooldown processor. Yeah, that one hasn't even been tested because there's no abilities that have cooldowns. Or they don't have any abilities that have cooldowns. End ability processor, but this end ability processor took 2.4 milliseconds. So it's no wonder it took so long. Okay, here's a good example, I suppose. End gameplay effect processor took 900 microseconds. The playback commands after that took 1.5. This end gameplay effect processor took 1.8, so twice as long. Twice as many effects to process there, I believe. Playback commands took about the same amount of time with more stuff. Wondering if I should do... It might be nice to do something like the scope, include the number of entities in the scope trace. But then it doesn't aggregate them. Fuck. Oh, I guess I could just put that in a different one. Where did I put my for loop? I have forgotten. Entity Query Builder was the answer there. Entity Query Builder was the answer I was looking for. What are you doing? Oh, not much. What are you doing? Scope string. And then I will need to put this somewhere where I have the count. Okay, that will show the number of entities. What is this code for? It's for a video game. RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. Okay, but yeah, it would be nice to know, and I should put that there. I should probably shelve the changes that I have, except for this one. Run the test. That way I can compare the number of things running. Maybe also the command buffer size. That way I can compare properly. Ugh. It feels so messy. It feels so messy. Because yeah, what is this going to show me? This is going to show me the count. Great, but I need to compare that. And I also need to compare that for the playback commands. Show some output. No. I'm working on things. Do not give me demands. I will not give in to them. That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. Process commands for entity. Yeah. Okay, so this, change that to just process commands for entity. So I probably should, I need to come up with a number such that I can correlate these two things together. So it's like entity command, it's like, for this one, it's like num entities plus num commands. Yeah, num entities with command, yeah. People on shorts are ridiculous with the comments, yeah. Yep. Okay, let me think about how I want to do this. I need a number. I need a number with which to compare properly. That number is going to be entities with commands. Thing is, like, I want to do this before. I want to do this like right here. I want to do that right there. With like num commands, I guess I'll say, underscore, yeah, plus some number. I guess that int 32 total commands equals entity commands dot num. That's just the number of entities at that point. Then we need to do these things. Name of game and when are you releasing it? It is called My Project. I'm releasing it in now. I'm going to bump it up to 30 to 40 years now. So maybe before I die. Okay, but then I also need to go through here and then like, I think what I need to do is actually, I need to iterate through the commands first and then do total commands plus equal that. Yeah. Okay. You can get rid of that for now. I don't need that. Okay. Okay, so let's close these guys. I'll run the test with 1,000. Then I'm going to revert it. I'll shelf my changes. I will shelf my changes. And then we'll do it again. Another one. Okay, just let that run for a bit. Let that run for a bit. How many years of experience do you have? In what? Programming, game dev, C++, streaming. I think yellow's winning here. I think yellow's gonna win. Yeah. Oh yeah, yellow's winning. Nice. Okay, let's stop that. We can just pause here. Programming. Do you want to know how many years that I've been getting paid for it? Or how many years I have been putting lines of code places? Num entities 1. Okay, that's not fucking right. What the hell? That's not right. What the heck? The playback commands one works. I have been writing code for 14 years. I've been getting paid for it for almost 10. We're approaching 10 very, very quickly. Oh, right, because there's multiple archetypes. Right. That still doesn't explain why. It still doesn't explain why. That's only one. Okay, I think I need to... Yeah, why the fuck is that one? I literally iterate over it more than once. I can see it. Yeah, that's at least 2. You're right. It is at least 2. What the fuck did I do wrong here? Do you guys see anything wrong? What is wrong with this? Post increment. There's no incrementation. Like I am getting the same variable that I'm using for the for loop that I can see happens multiple times. Is being passed in here to this string thing. And it's the same f string from end that I do over here that did work. And we did see worked. And I do an int32 here, so it's not like we're overflowing. And that shouldn't happen anyway. Like I am doing it per archetype, so I should probably maybe, let's do something like this. It's temporary, don't worry. I am a professional, I do know what I'm doing. Don't try this at home. Try that. We're just gonna do something a little different. We're just gonna do it a little bit different. Yeah, it is the same there. Okay, we'll try that and see what it looks like. Yeah, that should allow num commands. Good. There's a little bit of overhead to that, but that's okay. I think the comparison will be worth it, and we'll strip it out. We are tracing. Place your bets, green or yellow, green or yellow. Yellow won last time. Will they win again? Will they reign supreme? I see a lot of green bodies. Yellow is mobbing up. Yellow is mobbing up again. Green, you are incorrect. It is yellow. Yellow is 1,000,000% the winner there. Screen is not clear. Why not use stream live as video on landscape mode? It's more convenient. Oh my god, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I don't think... Guys, is he ready for this? I do. I have that stream. I have 2 other streams as well that are horizontal. And you're scrolling through YouTube Shorts. That's how you got here. So, you've got the vertical stream. Num entities is still fucking 1. Oh, that one was 0. Okay, let me just run that again. I'm gonna breakpoint. It is not 1. Total num string equals that. scope. Okay, let's try that. Why not just do native engine code for better performance? Wouldn't that work better? What do you mean by native engine code? Okay, please just fucking work. Don't know why you're being so picky about this, Unreal Engine. What is the total num string? Bro, it's there. Okay, so is it tracing properly now? From where you learn C# and C++. Well, this is C++, and I learned it right here. You're watching exactly how I learned it. Okay, so it's literally... It's literally Unreal Insights that's the problem. Why is that a problem only for 63? Wait. 63. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 63. Oh no. Okay, that doesn't work. I mean, native might not be the correct terminology, but like, don't engines give documents to guide you to make your code more efficient? I mean, in some ways, yes. And so what are you asking? Why don't I just make it more efficient? I mean, I am. I'm doing that. I'm not sure what you're asking. So yeah, this doesn't actually work, which is weird. Why can't I conditionally? Because it's always 63. It is always 63 here, and then it's always like, oh, that num entities is 18. That one's 1. Num. What is happening here? It's like it snapshots it per fucking run or something like that. Okay, so something about this is not going to work. Is there another one of these I can use? What is on channel? Trace tag. Is there something I can use to just like log an int? Trace CSV. God, there's so much shit here. So many macros. Is there like a stat one? Trace stat add, increment decrement. Interesting. What do you do and how do I see you? Can I see what you expand to? Stat and amount. Increment. What is stat supposed to be here? Stat and amount. F stats trace add. F name. Maybe I can use that. Maybe I can use that. This needs to be F name. Can I just initialize this with a string? I forget. There's too many things. Int64. Do I have to be explicit about 64? I do. Okay. But that theoretically works. F name for num scope name, and we'll just do that. Okay, let's rebuild there and see if that shows up now. That might be, I don't even know where I would need to look for that either. So we'll just see. We'll take a gander. Build please, and thank you. Thank you for the subs and everything today, guys. Welcome in. Okay. Okay, let's take a peek now. Okay, let's see here. I just want to see a couple frames, I guess. Does that show up anywhere? I probably should turn on stat named events too. No, let's just look up num entities in here. Is that okay? Counters? Do I have to like click on a frame maybe? This does seem to be like the place that this would be in, right? N64 and double. Do I need to like? Yeah, I just want one frame. One frame. One opportunity. Group by stats name. Flat. And what would be the stats name, I guess? For each, so it'd be an F. It's not there. It's not there. Let me turn on stat named events. Does that do anything? No. No, it doth not. Oh, is it stat No. I mean, look, stat foliage instance buffers. Inc D-word stat by. Trace stat add. Where is this used at? Barely anywhere in the engine. Trace stat set doesn't work. I did trace stat add. But I don't know, like, it doesn't seem like the engine uses these at all very much. Ah, I need the stats channel enabled. I think. Stats. Okay. Unknown stats counter. I have a feeling these unknown stats counters are mine. Okay. Let me look at that, what was it, like foliage, stat underscore foliage, instance buffer. This is declaring a memory stat. And then they do dec d-word stat by inc d-word stat by. I'm gonna copy that. God, there's gonna be so much shit I have to fucking do. Bro, I have no idea how to fucking use this. Something else. Can I resolve symbol F stack group? Declare stats group. Oh, I don't want to have to set all this up. Why can't I just log a thing? We'll try the set. Why can't I just do something like this, huh? Go away. stats. Anything else? Anything else I should probably throw in here? Counters? It seems useful. Messaging? Why not? Okay. Do we have data? Show me the data. Counters. The counters. There it is! No, that's never mind. That's not. I thought that was mine. It's not. I got excited. I got excited. Okay. I would think counters would be what to do there. Okay, I may need to look into that offline. I may need to do some of that more offline. That number would be super helpful. God, there's yeah, I'll do that later. I'll do that some other time. Here, silly me for thinking that there was just some simple one-liner thing that I could use. What's left for me? Yeah, we're doing this right here. I need these numbers to properly test this though. And I am getting a bit hungry now, and it's no longer morning, so my stream title is not correct anymore. So I think I'm gonna call it here. I think this is a good stopping place. I did implement this, and it does work, so I'm happy about that, but I don't know if it's better or not. We have to see. So let me find someone to send you guys to. We'll hit up Reno. We're gonna say hello to him. But thank you all for spending your Saturday with me. I appreciate it. It was a good Saturday. It was a good Saturday, if I do say so myself. Private account, you came in just as we're finishing up for the day. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out. Appreciate it. Good to see you all. And hopefully I will see you all more tomorrow. Yeah, take care everyone. Have a good weekend.